Hello and welcome to Carlini Field as the UFA season gets set to kick off in the nation's capital. The DC Breeze are hosting the Philadelphia Phoenix, two teams with a long history. I'm here with my colleague Will Smolisky. Will, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so since 2022, these two teams have met 7 times. 5 of those games have been decided by 2 points or less. However, Philadelphia hasn't beaten DC since 2017. DC's been the big brother for a while now, and we can't wait to see what this season brings.
Yeah, always exciting when these two teams get together, but it's going to be a very different look from last season. Several players gone. James Pollard from Philadelphia and Johnny Malks, as well as a host of other contenders, ready to add fresh faces to an old rivalry.
Tight catch by Andrew Roy. He moves it up the field to Thomas Edmonds. Thomas Edmonds looking end zone for Jurek, who tracks it down for the opening goal for the DC Breeze.
And DC showing they're not scared to attack that flat for visiting teams.
And Philadelphia gained a lot of yards, but now slowing down. Discs are hanging in the air, giving the wind more opportunity to punch them up as Nate Long looks end zone for Sean Mott. And what a bid by Mott. That's a Phoenix goal. The fingertips of Sean Mott to pull it in.
Man, he looked like he was 10 years younger going out for that.
Rowan McDonald. Philadelphia is really leaving a lot of room for these throwers as Edmonds is shooting deep for Jurek. Another hanging deep throw. Nate Little rips it out of the sky. That's a D for Philadelphia, and now they'll have their first break opportunity of the game.
I know that there's people that are really excited about Nate Little this season. I think that last year he did pretty well. He's had a couple really good highlight plays. Going to be interesting to see what they can do with him this year on defense.
Ethan Holmgren has it up to Nate Little. Nate Little now an arcing lefty throw over the head of Justin Keller, but that will be a break for Philadelphia as Eric Nardelli reels it in.
A nice lefty flick up to the space, catches a little gust.
Just playing patty cake as Nissen has it. Nissen finds Thomas Edmonds up line. Jacques Nissen goes up line and flips. Nate Long looking towards the end zone to Scott Heyman. He's not quite in. And Heyman with the IO backhand. Talk about success in small spaces. Brandon Pastor with the goal for Philadelphia. Something that Philadelphia was known for in previous seasons, taking a long time on defensive holds. A tough throw from Holmgren, but snagged by Paul Owens. Another break for Philadelphia.
Very, very patient offense. I mean, any offensive coordinator would love that offense.
McCutcheon, but Schaefer getting there first, and Philadelphia's offense has another chance to score a break. Matt Hanna with the blade to Greg Martin, and Mott will flip it to Martin, who did so much work to save the possession. He's rewarded with the goal. That's another Philadelphia break.
Beautiful giving.
Philadelphia running that same offense out, not a lot of run. A high throw, and it hangs too long for Sean Mott. Jasper Tom gets underneath it and knocks it away. Nissen in the middle of the field finds Norbaum. Norbaum to McDonald. McDonald, Edmonds. Edmonds looking end zone, and another goal for Cole Jurek. 2 breaks in a row for the Breeze.
Running downhill. I mean, so those low to no stop.
Chris Zaleski finds Eric Nardelli. Eric Nardelli with the thigh raise, and a hand block from Jeff Wodach. Edmonds to Jurek on the front of the end zone. Edmonds now with the disc. Scuba to the back to a wide open Jeff Wodach, and DC will score.
And an important one.
Philadelphia needs to get it in a thrower's hands and get Tober in the end zone. Heyman pulls it away from the bidding McCutcheon and will look end zone. Tapped away by A.J. Merriman, and that will take us to half. Matt Hanna now looking for Nate Long. Nate Long looking end zone to Sean Mott, and it'll go through his hands. A drop by Mott.
I mean, that
up to Jace Dean. Jace Dean looking end zone to Merriman. Scott Heyman going up early, and Merriman unable to get his hands on it. Falls over afterward. From these players, it has been quite the ordeal. Matt Hanna to Scott Heyman. Scott Heyman using his shoulders, trying to keep McCutcheon away, and Brandon Pastor makes up for his earlier drop. Clapp catches it in the same spot. Looking backfield to Nissen. Great throw, a lot of pressure from Paul Owens. Nissen switching fields. A lot of contact from Paul Owens, but plenty of room to run underneath it. McDonald to Jurek, Jurek to Healy, Healy straddling the goal line and flips it in for the score. Greg Martin surveying. Back to Heyman, Heyman diving for it. Grabs the disc. Heyman to Sean Mott, Philadelphia a little stymied. Mott with a classic scuba over to Tober for the goal.
And a pretty good mark from Alexander Fall there, but Sean Mott just going to that good old lefty scuba that served him well over the seasons. That right there, that layout bid is set up.
Winner of this game will join Boston atop the Eastern Division as the sole owners of first place. Rowan McDonald going deep to Kevin Healy. He wasn't ready for it. Can he run it down? Knocked away by Campanella. And a foul called. No, an injury on Camper. Tober back to Scott Heyman. And Heyman looking end zone. It's Brandon Pastor in the goal. Philadelphia with the half break. Then breaks the mark. Back to Wodach. Gets it to Roy. An efficient, moving, classic Breeze possession on offense. Roy at the front of the end zone. Scoobering it. And that'll be a goal. Kevin Healy with the grab.
And you can see how there's some confusion there, just running out of throwers on that line. You know, like they got it to Bloodgood and then just no one else in that next space.
Sean Mott floats one to Heyman, and Heyman with the inside shot to who else in this fourth quarter? Brandon Pastor, another fourth quarter goal. Laughing about that double team they tried earlier in the quarter. Mott going deep immediately. Scott Heyman chasing it down. All the way to the end zone. A Phoenix break for Scott Heyman and Sean Mott.
That is exactly what Philadelphia needs to do. And they just set up a track meet and said, we're going to go get it. This is going to be
Jurek to McDonald. McDonald catching it close to his body. Centers it to Jacques Nissen. Nissen to Jeff Wodach. Jeff Wodach going deep, pops it right into the air. Everyone's going underneath it, and it's another block for Nate Little. Coming in here, Roy across the field to Jurek. Jurek threading the needle to Nissen, who's going deep. Deep for Healy, but it's Jeff Wodach running underneath, and with 45 seconds, the Breeze have pulled within one.
Holy cow.
Martin throws it to space, knocked away by Jasper Tom. 20 seconds left. AJ Merriman, end zone, off the hands. A drop in the end zone from Shapinski. The rookie's fingers couldn't cover it. And with just 7 seconds remaining, Mott resets, long resets, and Heyman will hold the disc as time expires. Philadelphia knocks off the DC Breeze, an upset in the nation's capital for the first time since 2017. Philadelphia has defeated the DC Breeze. Incredible moment for head coach David Brandolph.